Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, spring arrives in New Hampshire as another snowstorm approaches. Let's take a listen to the video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
The time of year when we are normally looking for signs of spring. While planes were still arriving at the Manchester-Boston Regional Airport, there were signs that the impending storm was already having an impact. The information board at the airport showing the canceled flights.
Washington, D.C. Reagan, flight out American got canceled. Had to rebook on a different airline, so hopefully I get there.
John Drake was heading to Denver, but he also had to change his plans.
My connecting flight got canceled, and so I've got pushed out to one that'll hopefully go out a few hours later. Southwest flies mostly through Baltimore, so the storm that we're getting tomorrow is there right now, so it's going to be a long travel.
It has been a snowier winter than normal, despite the mild February. At Concord, where the official records are kept, they've had 85.6 inches of snow, compared to an average of 55 inches for this date. But at the local Dairy Queen, despite the upcoming storm, a sign of the changing season.
She woke up this morning and said it's free ice cream day and was ready to go to school at like 5:30 this morning.
Christina Albin and her 3-year-old daughter enjoying a free cone. It's something the business does every year on the first day of spring. As for what makes a perfect cone,
aside from being free, the perfect cone is going to be the right temperature. You got to have a nice, high-quality machine making it.
Tara Hewitt and 5-year-old Cody were also taking advantage of the giveaway. Asked if it feels like spring.
It does not, unfortunately, but it's supposed to warm up a little after the snow, so let's hope so.
Tara Hewitt says everything is better with free ice cream. Here at this Dairy Queen, they expect to give out 4,000 free cones today. And they're also doing a fundraiser for the Manchester Animal Shelter. So come down, get yourself some free ice cream. You can also donate to a good cause. Reporting live in Manchester, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Massachusetts State Police boss. 21 troopers investigated for overtime absence. Let's take a listen to the video from WCVB Boston.
Now, state police just announcing 21 department members are under investigation for overtime abuse that was first exposed by 5 investigates in the fall. At a news conference a short time ago, the state police colonel announced that their own audit uncovered potential abuse by 19 troopers still on the job, one who retired last year and another who is suspended. Last year, 5 investigates compared 9 months of overtime, payroll, and ticket data from the state police with official ticket records from the Registry of Motor Vehicles. And we discovered lieutenants and a trooper being paid for more than 100 overtime shifts targeting dangerous drivers where no speeding tickets were written at all. There were also cases where tickets were submitted for overtime but appeared to be written weeks earlier. In 2016, Troop E cashed in on more than $1 million in overtime for these shifts alone. The colonel says the investigation will now go beyond Troop E.
We are expanding this audit even further to examine all traffic enforcement overtime shifts worked by department members in all troops. The point of that is to determine if there are any discrepancies between overtime paid and actual patrols worked department-wide.
The colonel said the abuse involves as many as 100 overtime shifts so far. The Attorney General is now investigating to see if criminal charges should be filed. Duty status hearings for the troopers will begin in the next few days.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Regulators vote to audit Central Maine Power. Let's take a listen to the video from WMTW News 8 Maine.
Our professional builder customers are just amazing people. They're out in the community, they're givers, they're coaches, they're mentors, they're running these incredible small businesses. It's quite an understated profession.
Regulators will decide this week whether to open a full investigation into CMP over customer complaints about high bills and poor service. The Maine PUC says it's received more than 1,000 complaints from customers. That commission meets tomorrow to decide whether to pursue that management audit, as it's known. The company says high bills could be caused by a recent cold snap, the October windstorm, plus price increases for electricity supply.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your U.S. market and see how your U.S. market closed for your Tuesday evening. And here's a look at the U.S. market. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the green and went up. Your NASDAQ closed in the green and went up. S&P 500 closed in the green and went up. CNBC IQ 100 closed in the green and went up. Gold closed in the red and went down. Oil closed in the green and went up. U.S. 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the green and went up. And VIX closed in the red and went down. Dow closes 116 points higher as Fed meeting kicks off. U.S. stocks climbed on Tuesday as the Federal Reserve started a two-day monetary policy meeting, with most market participants expecting a rate hike. Girl critically hurt in high school shooting may have had relationship with suspect. Let's take a listen to the video from ABC News.
See how this can give you access to this. Let's say you spontaneously decide to move your childhood tree as a surprise to the man you love. Good thing you know JP Morgan Private Client Advisor. Chris helped you plan a personalized strategy, all while giving you financial confidence to be spontaneous.
Deputy First Class Blaine Gaskell was alerted and immediately responded and engaged the shooter. DFC Blaine Gaskell fired at the shooter, and what is described to me as almost simultaneously the shooter fired. First aid was immediately initiated by deputies, troopers, and school nursing staff to include a tourniquet placed on the shooting victim and CPR. There is an indication that a prior relationship existed between the shooter and the female victim. We are working as we speak to determine if that was, and if so, the extent of that, and if it was part of the motive for this shooting. We continue to interview witnesses, collect forensic evidence from multiple crime scenes, and examine the shooter's electronic devices and all aspects of social media and social media traffic. The 14-year-old male student was transported to MedStar St. Mary's Hospital, is in stable condition there. The 16-year-old female student was transported to PG Shock Trauma, and she is in ICU with life-threatening critical injuries.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday evening, and I'll be back with another newscast tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Bye. Bye.